Today I want to talk to you about my high level running tech. So an overview of my running tech at a high level, and I'll review each piece in more detail on a separate episode. So it's a wonderful Tuesday morning. It's really sunny, really nice, and a nice time to run. Morning. So it's all about running today, and it's obviously one of my true passions in life. And as I'm half Chinese, for those of you who don't know, I think I have, without being overly generalised, but I have a real love for technology, and people know what I mean when I say that. I love technology. So basically, I've spent hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours trawling the web, researching all the different types of tech out there, and trying to find something that works for me. Now, that's the first thing to consider: is what works for you. What do you want out of your tech? You can tech up so much these days with wearable tech. You can almost be like a running version of Robocop, or you can get by without any tech and track using very basic things like how far you covered and how long your run took, etc. So you can go kind of any end of the spectrum here, and there's no right or wrong. It's just making sure you get the right setup that's right for you. So I'm clearly love my tech. I love my stats as well. I love measuring stuff, and you'll see a common theme in this vlog. I'm always talking about testing and measuring because I love seeing improvement, try and be the best version of you, and I love understanding that I'm on that path. If you don't track or measure in some way or form, then you're not going to know if you're improving. But again, if you're not bothered about that and you just want to run, why bother tracking? Why bother investing in tech? It's not cheap either. So I'll go head to toe. What's my tech? Okay. Start with well, actually, I'm not going to go head to toe. I'm going to start with one of the key facets, because the other thing you have to consider when buying tech, especially if you're getting multiple pieces, is how well it integrates with each other, and does it have the capacity to integrate with multiple different pieces of wearable at the same time. And again, there's a lot of researchers to go into this stuff, because there's nothing worse than buying some tech thinking this is going to work and then finding out that it has limitations or doesn't do what you want it to do. So, well, before I go into the tech, what did I want out of it? Okay, I wanted a huge amount of data. I wanted data on my wrist. There were so many apps and things you can get on a smartphone, but I don't want to take my smartphone when I run. So what can I use to give me the data without that need? So obviously I'll tell you why. I've got an Apple Watch. I've got the latest Apple Watch. I always upgrade it every year to try and ensure that it has the capability to manage what I need it to manage. But I wanted all sorts of data, because when you're doing ultras, when you're doing you're trying to get PBs and stuff like that, you need to be able to pace yourself, and you need that data to give you that. And when I look at my data, I mean, I'll go into a full overview of the stats I measure in another episode, but at a high level, I measure my pace, my cadence, my power, my heart rate, distance, time, and I measure different variations of each. So what I mean by that is, just wondering if I've missed my turning here. Not to worry, I'll turn around if I have. Different variations of each. So I'll measure, my pace based on what my current pace is. I'll measure it with a 10-second lapse. I'll measure it against the last lap I've done. So I've got all this data for each of those categories I gave you. So there's a huge amount of data I capture, and I need an app to be able to give me that on my wrist. So I obviously asked for quite a lot. I wanted heart rate. Heart rate is something I train to. It's something I run to. Excuse me. So I just went in my mouth. So I measure my heart rate. I've gone the wrong way. I measure my heart rate. So problem is with wrist-based wearables, the heart rate can be inaccurate because your wrist moves quite a lot, and heart rate is you get the best reading when you get a static or fixed connection with your skin to get your pulse, and your wrist is constantly moving backwards and forwards when you run, so you don't get that consistent connection, so you can get some inaccurate spikes in your data. So a heart rate monitor was important to me that linked with whatever app I was using to obviously make sure that it all connects together. So that's the kind of high level. Since I've started vlogging, I've also needed a camera that can remain stable when running. I wanted something that looked professional, something that didn't have a horrible selfie stick showing, all these types of things. And I wanted something with 360-degree capability to pan around when editing if I wanted to show you the beautiful sights or whatever I'm running on without having to physically turn the camera around. So all these things, when I wanted to measure power, how did I capture power? I needed some wearable to be able to do that. So power and cadence, and I bought a piece of wearable that enables me to do that. So you can see I've put a lot of thought into what I need to report on and why I do it. I also need stuff that syncs with Strava. Strava is the kind of social app of running. It's really, really cool to give each other support, follow runners that you want to aspire to and try and see what they're doing for training, etc. So it's a really cool app. So even though I don't like Strava as a recording my runs app, I need to be able to sync to Strava seamlessly because I don't want to be faffing around syncing runs all the time either. So there's all these different questions you have to ask yourself. So from head to toe, what is my tech? Or welcome. I'll go through it in parts, but I'll start with my Apple Watch 5. I have my Apple Watch because I use it for all things business. It's basically a phone on your wrist. You know, it's I've got a contract with it as well, so I can make calls and receive calls without the need for the phone. So it's like a separate phone altogether. It also links seamlessly with my Apple AirPods Pro, which are my earphones that I listen to wireless. Obviously, really cool sound, really good audio for recording and stuff as well. So, but the benefit of that is you can, on my watch, I can have all of my Audible books on it without the need to. I missed the turning again. I'm not sure to turn around. Pay attention to where I'm going. I think I've got to turn around again. So excuse me. But yeah. So I can't remember what I was saying now. So yeah. So Apple needing to link with their AirPods Pro, which are the ability to have Audible, listen to all my audio books without needing to bring a phone with me, and all my podcasts I can listen to as well. And it links to my Apple Music subscription. So, you know, they talked about the old iPod having, you know, thousands of songs in your pocket. I've literally got millions on my wrist. So, whatever mood I'm in, whatever I want to do when I'm running, whether I'm recording a vlog, I'm listening to an audio book, music, or podcast, I can do it all from my watch. So, I know there's probably other devices that can do that, but I'm heavily ingrained in the Apple ecosystem. So, everything I have is Apple. So, it all links seamlessly, so it's a perfect fit. And the Apple Watch 5 does that amazingly well. It's probably my favourite piece of wearable tech because I do so much with it. I'll give a more detailed review on productivity and stuff on another episode. So next I have my heart rate monitor, which I use a Polar OL1. And the reason I use that, it's not a typical chest strap. I hate the chest straps, I find them quite restrictive and uncomfortable. So the OL1 you can probably see on my right arm, a little black band near my elbow. That's my heart rate monitor. So I fix that on my forearm, upper forearm. You can do it on your bicep as well. There's other places you can put it as well. But you need to find something that's comfortable and where you get a fixed connection. And that part of my arm does that. So, and it syncs with the Apple Watch seamlessly. And also the app I use to capture all my data, which is my Stryd app, which I'll talk to you about in a minute, seamlessly, all in one go. So again, that's really cool, and it gives me a really accurate heart rate monitor reading, which is super important for when you do long distance stuff. So the next one is, I'll talk to you about my AirPods Pro, so that's that one covered. The next one is my power adapter. So I have a power adapter strapped to my left foot, so I'll pan down to my left foot in the recording, but there's a little black device that's stuck to the laces. What that does is it gives you a more accurate GPS reading because it's actually tracking the distance you're based on your stride and your cadence and your steps. So it's more accurate than what you get with a wearable device for like your watch or your phone or anything. It's actually tracking the movement on your foot. It also tracks the power. Now power I don't really use as what I wanted. I bought the power adapter because cyclists use it, and a metric to how hard they're working. I prefer heart rate. The reason heart rate lags a little bit, it moves slower. You can control it easier. Power, if I just speed up a little bit like this, my power would go through the roof. And if I slow right down, it will slow really instantly. And it's really difficult to try and control that by looking at your wrist and trying to manage that when you run. However, if you know that the Stryd app gives you based on marathon distances and distances, it tells you what power you should be at running at to try and avoid hitting the dreaded wall. I don't know the whole episode of hitting the dreaded wall because I've hit it many times, and it's possibly the worst thing ever to experience. So I'll do a whole episode on that. But the idea is that the power adapter, along with heart rate and these other metrics, will avoid me doing that on long distance runs. So that's why I have the Stryd app, Stryd power adapter. Secondly, for Stryd, I haven't found a running app that works on the Apple Watch 5 that has the same amount of data that you can punch in from the Stryd app, the Stryd power adapter. So that's another thing. I've been through so many different running apps and I couldn't find one that gave me all the data I wanted, but I have with Stryd. So that's why I use Stryd. It syncs seamlessly with the Apple Watch. It picks up data from my heart rate monitor, from the power adapter. My Apple Watch 5 can handle the AirPods Pro connection, all the apps that I run simultaneously, like Audible, podcasts, Apple Music, etc. And just press record as well for voice notes when I'm running. So so really cool kind of stuff that it can do. Now this isn't right for everyone, this setup. The other thing is my camera. Now I had to look at a camera that would sync with the AirPods Pro to run as a microphone. There's loads of 360 cameras out there, but there's hardly any that will sync with a wireless mic. And obviously I needed that for doing this vlog. So the camera I've opted for is a 360 degree action camera called Insta360 1R. And I have an invisible selfie stick with it. So it's got the software ingrained. Obviously I'm holding a selfie stick here, but you can't see it. You might see, if you look detailed enough, a bit more of a static hand because I'm holding the selfie stick there. But you can't see it. It's a big black thick thing, but you just see this floating camera in front of me, which looks really cool, like someone's actually videoing me. So again, a lot of research went into that to find it. And then with the videos, you obviously have to make sure it links with editing software formats so that you can upload stuff if you're going to be sharing content like I do. So that's a super high level overview to my tech. But to summarize, ask what you need the tech for, what you're looking for out of the tech. That's the most important question. Don't over tech, but don't under tech. So understand what you want and then research into the different options that will help you. Now, like I said, I've done a lot of research on this. I'm no expert, but just from a student of productivity and finding the best tech, ask me any questions on this stuff and I'll try and give you my honest review and opinion to try and find the right setup for you. So hope you found this useful and hope it's helpful. That's my high level tech overview and I'll see you on the next episode. Bye.